random links in here. Just make sure that your link works, because if your user clicks on a link and it takes them to nowhere, then obviously it's not going to be a user-friendly website. So you need to check whether those links that you provide are working. So suppose if I change, let's get back to this part. If I change something from column 3, let me change link 2 from column 3, and let me change this to something like Bootstrap. So this is Bootstrap's homepage. So the link is getbootstrap.com. Let me copy this, and I wanted to change the second link from the third column. So this is the third column, and I want to change the second link. So let me erase the previous link first. Let me paste the one that I've just copied. Now let me change the name. Let me change this to Bootstrap, and let me save this. Let's get back to the web page. Let's refresh this, and now you see that the Bootstrap link has appeared. So if I click this link, this is going to take me to Bootstrap's homepage. If I click on Facebook's link, it's going to take me to Facebook's page. So I guess you get the idea of what's happening. Basically, sorry for that. So basically, this is the name that's going to appear on your web page. So you see that Google, the name that I provided in here, Bootstrap, is it's appearing on the third column, and this Bootstrap, this name is appearing on the third column, and the corresponding link, it won't show up on your web page, but when you click that, it's going to take you to Bootstrap's homepage, like we have seen a few seconds earlier. So I think you get the idea. The same idea applies for the social link. I've got 4 links, perhaps. I've got Facebook, I've got Twitter, I've got YouTube, and I've got LinkedIn's icons. So each of them have a link, and they have an image source. So the image source is the it's actually, let me get back to the page. It's actually the image that's appearing on this footer top section. So you see the logo of YouTube, you see the logo of LinkedIn. It's actually, this image source is providing the path where I've stored the logo of Facebook, or where I've stored the logo of Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Now, when I click on any of those links, any of those icons, if I click on them, suppose if I click on Facebook, it's going to take me to Facebook. Now the second property in here, the second property, link, actually provides the resource that's going to take the visitor, or that's going to take the user when they click on your on the social icons, or on the social icons that you've provided. Like I've clicked on Facebook, it took me to Facebook's homepage. So that was all about this JSON file. Now create first of all you need to have a directory, or you need to have a folder. So create a new folder, name this as something like, rename this perhaps let's rename this part. You can actually do the same thing if you go to AppTown. You just need to click on projects. I want to create a project that's a web project, and that's also a PHP project. So because I'm using PHP as my language, I want to create a PHP project. The first thing that I want to do in here is to click on PHP. So open up the project section. You can do the same thing. you can do this in two ways: click File, then New, then PHP project, or sorry for that, or you can just click on this small icon that shows New. Click on this and go to, it won't show up initially. You just need to click on Web and you will get this PHP project. Click on Next. So choose the version of PHP that you want to use. I want to use the PHP 5.4. I guess the latest version is PHP 5.6, the stable one. You can use the previous ones, but I recommend you to use the newer versions. So I'm using PHP 5.4. Now let me create a project name. So let me create a name as Practice, and I want to store this on my desktop. So let me store this on desktop. I guess I need to, yeah. Okay, I'm storing this. This is going to be something. Oh, okay. Let me rename this part. I need to rename this. Okay. Why is it? Let me move this to trash. Let me create a new folder. Okay, let me name this as Practice. Okay, now this is done. Now let's open up this. Okay, and I've created a new project called Practice. Now inside this Practice, let me get off. Let me just close all of them. Okay, now this project is empty. I need to create the pages. Now the first page that you need for your website is the home page. Usually when you run, when you create a home page, it's not called home.php, it's usually called index.php, because when your server navigates to your website's folder, it usually suppose your visitor wants to visit your site and he has typed in the name of your website. Suppose you run a cake shop, so your website's name might be something like cupcakes.com. So your visitor wants to visit cupcakes.com, so he writes cupcakes on Google, and Google shows you all the the visitor shows him all the pages and their corresponding links. So the first thing that he will want to do is to visit your home page. So whenever he tries to visit your home page, or whenever he clicks on the link for the home page that appears on Google, Google will send a request to your server. Now the server contains the folder of your website, or it contains the files of your website. So whenever your server receives a request from Google, then it's going to look for the home page at the first. So it always looks for index.php, does not look for home.php. But you can change that, obviously. The general rule of thumb in here is that your server is always going to look for the index.php. So we need to create a file, a PHP file, a PHP script that's going to be index. So you just need to right click on your projects folder, then go to new from template, then PHP and PHP template, and let's create index.php. And now we have got a new page with basically nothing. It's empty. Let's erase this off and let's save this. Now let's get back to our Bootstrap's page. There are basically two ways of using Bootstrap. Either click on this download Bootstrap. So there are basically two ways. You can download the Bootstrap CSS, the JavaScript, and the fonts file together just by clicking on download Bootstrap, or you can provide a CDN. Now, those of you who do not know what a CDN is basically a content delivery network. So a content delivery network is where they store the actual CSS files, the actual JavaScript files, and the actual fonts file. So what the advantage of using the CDN is that you don't need to download all the files for the CSS styles, for the JavaScript files, and for the fonts file. You don't need to do that. So when you don't need to do that, your website's folder or your website's file is going to be a lot smaller. So smaller files usually will load faster on your server. So someone else is hosting those files, someone else is hosting those CSS files, those JavaScript files for you in their own servers. So basically that's known as the CDN. So you just need to copy this CDN's link, and you need to provide that inside your project or inside your script or your HTML file.